Hi, Gareth here from Previs Education with tips and advice for schools and school leaders. This week is Children's Mental Health Week, so I want to discuss safeguarding and mental health awareness in schools. Mental health issues have continued to rise amongst students in recent decades and have seen a sharp rise during this pandemic. Mental health relates to our emotional, psychological and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel and act. You're in good mental health when you can make the most of your potential, you cope with your life, play a full part in your family, workplace, community and amongst friends. Mental health issues include anxiety, depression, self-harm, eating disorders and, worst case scenario, suicide. In schools, mental health issues can manifest as lateness, absenteeism, disengagement from learning and playing, behavioural problems or violent conduct. As with all illnesses, prevention is better than cure, and for mental health, it's all about talking and listening. For younger students, it's important they understand how to recognise and talk about their own emotions. You can ask them how fast their hearts beat after running around, and does it feel the same when they're scared or nervous? Speak to them about how different emotions feel in their bodies and get them to describe how they feel. You can use a mood chart which they fill in each day to express their emotions. For older students, create an environment where students can talk about how they feel without fear of embarrassment or rejection. In my previous school, we assigned a trusted teacher to each student, someone they trusted and felt happy talking about their feelings or problems with. We also had peer supporters, a small group of trained senior students who acted as counsellors for anyone who needed to share their problems. Make sure you take the time to explain to students about mental health, how it can impact anyone and that it is not a sign of weakness. Show them what to be on the lookout for in themselves and their friends. Conversations about mental health are more effective in the context of a positive whole school environment where there is an ethos of constructive, caring relationships across the school built on trust, kindness, safety and security, what we call safeguarding, where there is a sense of belonging and students are encouraged to talk to staff about worries and difficulties, where children and young people have been taught good social and emotional skills and are able to identify feelings, thoughts and emotions, where all staff are encouraged and supported to be alert, watchful and curious about children and young people's behaviour, their body language, their interaction with other pupils, what they say, what they draw and write, and what they do in school, where there is a clear safeguarding policy in place so that staff know what to do if they believe a child is at risk, where there is a strong foundation of good staff mental health and well-being. Now, all of that said, not all staff are going to feel comfortable starting conversations with a child on well-being. It's important that staff have specialised training and ongoing support from senior school leadership to help with their own confidence around mental health issues, including their own. If you do have a child who is symptomatic of a mental health issue, engage with them as per your safeguarding policy. You can simply ask them how they are and tell them that you've been concerned about them for whatever reason. But most importantly, listen to what they tell you. Do not dismiss any feelings or reasons for those feelings. The worst thing a child can hear is you'll grow out of it in time, or the person simply tells their own anecdote of when they felt down. It's probably true that it's a phase, but it does little help to a child in their current state. Better, actively listen and support what the child is telling you. By reaching out, the child is putting a lot of trust in you. Do not break that trust. Unless there is an imminent risk of harm to the child, do not tell anyone. If you have a counsellor on site, you can approach them and tell them about it, but keep the identity of the child quiet unless they have given you permission to do otherwise. You can also advise the child to speak to the counsellors or their parents, depending on what the problem is. Importantly, do not judge the child. You need to put your own personal beliefs and biases to one side. As a mentor, it is not your position to judge or advise based on your own dogma. You are there to listen. A child with problems needs someone to trust, so don't be the person to break that trust. If you can't do that, simply tell the child you're unable to assist with their problem and ask them to speak to someone more qualified, but do so kindly. I think you need to discuss this with somebody more qualified than me. Maybe Miss X would be a better person to speak with. But do make sure that you follow up with that teacher that the student has spoken with them whilst maintaining their confidence. However, all of that said, if you think that a student is at imminent risk of harm, you must contact the parents immediately and inform the school management and or the counsellors. Sometimes time can be of the essence and you need to react quickly and break that trust to prevent more damage. Every child has the right to a happy childhood, and every child needs a champion, someone who will be there for them, supporting, encouraging, and listening to them. With mental health, that is even more vital and an important part of being a great teacher and indeed a great human being. If you do have any questions about mental health or safeguarding in your school, or are interested in teacher or leadership training on the topics discussed today, please contact me on the email at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.